Divesting gone wrong. Kenyan Divestor's Indian husband beats her at the morgue after her son died and took off with the rest of the children. She tried to run to God and Jesus, but all this proves was that she wasn't listening to God in the first place.
A black girl having a brown man wanting to marry you, my God, it was a pressure thing, you know. So I accepted.
This woman married this man and initially felt it was the best decision she ever made.
This is me in India 10 years ago with my brother and sister-in-law and the children.
As a young girl who had never experienced love before, she saw everything as perfect, like a blind person seeing for the first time.
I told you my case is different. Me, I was married at 19, and this man was just a teacher. So he was elder enough. He knew what he wanted from me. But me, I was just an innocent girl. And that is where my all love affair started with this man. He was very good because it is not like men of today, they ask girls for sex.
At that time, Alice was a very young girl in secondary school.
In mimi, nikiwa form 4, CCM.
Like everyone else in school, she met many people with different behaviors, values, cultures, and sometimes different races. However, her experience was unique because it wasn't a fellow student, but an Indian teacher who fell in love with her.
He was a teacher by then, so he had money to give me all what I wanted. I informed my mother, my father, back 1987, that I have this man as my boyfriend. He came even my home.
She had fallen deeply in love with an Indian man who was 20 years older than her. However, her family, including her parents, vehemently disapproved of the relationship.
This is a letter that was written to me back in 1991 by my mother when I was only 3 years in marriage. She was warning me.
They had many reasons, but she decided to be with the man she loved, believing that their love could overcome any obstacle. However, it later became one of her biggest regrets.
So somehow I became a bit stupid and I did not listen to my parents. And I really regret today why I did not listen to my parents.
She refused to listen to anyone and made her own decision. They had children, built a family together, and acquired properties.
I was so very bright in his love. I became pregnant and got my firstborn girl, a very pretty girl. And after I got that girl, my mother warned me again. Alice, listen to me. Why are you not listening to me?
For a while, everything seemed perfect.
These are my twins, a boy and a girl.
But eventually, she realized she had made a terrible choice. Tears and stress became the only things left in her life.
I cried until my tears are dry. Even I cannot cry even in this interview. It's because he beat me inside the mortuary where my son was lying dead. He beat me up. You can imagine a husband beating you when your child is lying in the mortuary. And I went to where they burned the Indians. And I went and I burnt my son. All that you can imagine, burning your own child. I burnt him until all the ashes were over. And that is the pain I went through. And you can imagine, before the burning of the son, he has already beaten me in the mortuary.
Who was her husband? How did they meet? What did he do to make her regret her decision?
God speaks to people even up to today. Okay, my children, I never dedicated them because they are Hindus. All my children, none of them is Christian. All of them are Hindus. And I'm really crying for them. Because really, but I thank God. I have been crying for my children to know the true God. But because of their father, none has agreed. None has agreed.
This change in perception is what started the problems that changed her life forever. It was during this turmoil that her husband revealed his true nature. His behavior, once hidden, now became apparent, leading to conflicts and difficulties that Alice had never anticipated.
All problems started when I became a Christian. Kumara was a Hindu priest. So when I stopped going to the temple, then he told me, then Alice, a Christian and a Hindu cannot stay together. I told him, a Christian and a Hindu cannot stay together. What did you tell me when we were marrying? You told me there's no problem of Hinduism and Christian. And now the problem is, actually he gave me even divorce because I have converted to Christianity and I have left Hinduism. It's okay. The divorce is there, and the separation and divorce came because I turned to Christianity. And even he told me never to see his dead body. A Christian cannot see his dead body. Then I told him, seeing your dead body, myself as a Christian, it does not do me anything. After all, there is nothing good in a dead body. becoming a bit hostile because before I left my home, where he was telling me now, it is not our money to home because he changed the title deed. It's because he chased me. And from chasing me, and I came outside, there was a lot of things that were going on. We had the businesses, we had loans to pay, we had the children to educate, but then everything was left on my side. But then the road was so heavy. I had only one son, who was among the twins. In the process of all this fight of wars, we always say, when the two bulls fight, grass is the one that suffers. My children really suffered. My boy even passed away, and he is the only boy I had. Back in 2018, my boy was in Form 3, and I don't know where he was going in Georgia. He got accident along the road, and he was knocked, and he died. And the sister was, by then, let me tell you one thing as women. As I told you, if you find your marriage is not working, don't stay there even because of children. Because either way, you will have to leave.
After separating from her husband, she faced numerous severe difficulties. These challenges left her with an unforgettable scar on her heart, a constant reminder of the pain she endured. Despite these challenges, her faith provided her with the resilience she needed to navigate through her darkest moments.
You know, I told you I was sent in the bush for prayer for 3 days, and I was given a lion. There were some evil spirits that were fighting me. At night, I could not sleep. There was war. Whenever I was sleeping, I would be carried by the bed, and the bed will come down. Boom! I was swelling my body all over. So there was no need of going to the police station because he used to bribe the police. Everybody was telling me, yeah, this girl is an African girl, is a Kikiyu girl. She got all the property of this Indian man. Now she want to leave this man and go outside and look for other African men. So that was the perspective. So what was I to do? In fact, I prepared myself nicely. I wore only my clothes, my friends. You can imagine every woman here you know very well. In your house, you are so organized, you have everything. And everything you have arranged in your house. If somebody tell you to walk away, what will you take and what will you leave? So me, I just woke up and only the dress I had, I woke out. And he told me, get out. This house belongs to God. That time, there was no my son were talking to me, and my 3 daughters were not talking to me. All of them were abusing me. In fact, I was like, I don't know what to say, but I was just like la rag. You can wipe your legs. So I saw there was no love for my husband, no love for my children. I just walked peacefully with Jesus like the prodigal son. I left my home, which he is claiming into today. It is not my marital home. It is a Hindu temple. I left all my children. Let me tell you, women, when you are called by Jesus, when you are called by God, you don't look back like the wife of Roti.
After divestors lose everything, they always try to dump their problems on someone else. This time it was God. This divestor is confused. If God was trying to help you, you would have your kids. But this is typical for divestors. Mixed race children with black moms never like their moms. Divestors will take anything for that magical mixed race baby. Now she can't play in her kid's hair. Divesting gone wrong.